Good morning. I guess you guys didn't expect to see me, but guess what else you weren't expecting to see? Welcome, Nick.
I get the reaction every time I drop my pants.
Speaking of dropping pants, did you see that? I'm trying to think. Someone sent this to me. I want to say it was Farrell sent this to me right here. Spent an hour and a half printing a Shrek figure. So an hour and a half. That's pretty slow amount of time. No big deal. It turned out pretty good, except
Okay. Okay. The audience are all awake now.
Good morning, Farrell. Good morning. Hey, Jude. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. Wolfram, awesome. Glad you could make it in. Oh, yes. I was talking to Nick in the back room, and he was like, "How's it going this morning?" I go, "Literally death and destruction. Like, no joke." It's this year. It's not even March. We've already managed to have two major water leaks in our house. They've tore up the front yard and have resealed the foundation. In the process, they broke the water line. That happened this weekend. So now I have like no water, which is going to be really interesting this morning, trying to take a shower. Hot water in a kettle and a wash basin works really well. And then of course, the father-in-law died a couple weeks ago, so we went and picked up his ashes, and that was interesting, especially finding the porn collection. It's awesome. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah, and you almost misspoke when you tried to say ashes for a reason, I assume.
Oh yeah. It was the but you have to take it all and be very lighthearted about it, because the like I was telling Nick, we're sitting in the funeral place, and they're trying to be solemn and be respectful, and I just looked at the lady that was handing us the ashes and the death certificates, and I looked at her and I said, do you think it's a little too late to get an autopsy? And she just started laughing, and my wife just like, "Oh, stop it!" But it lightened up the lube. The lube. We won't even get into that. It lightened up the mood because she recognized my wife by her facial features, and named my grandmother's maiden name and said, "You're one of those blank girls." And she was just like, "Gosh, you're good." And she goes, "Well, I ought to be. Your uncle married us off." It's like a great uncle, married me and my husband off, and all of our family, has been married off by him. Which, if you know anything about my great uncle, it's my wife's great uncle, but he left to form his own church because he didn't like the color that the church was turning in integration and all that kind of stuff. So he decided to go off and start his own church, and which is even funnier because the porn the porn my father-in-law had was stuff like "Bust That Black Asshole" and "Chocolate Hair Pie." Those were the videos.
Yep.
And
for those who weren't awake before, now you're awake.
and then of course, what was, there was this little box that he wanted to give to my brother-in-law. Like, it was something that he had in his original will, the one that he didn't sign. He wanted him to have it. And, you know, my wife was like, "Oh, I think the little box that's supposed to go to my brother-in-law." And so I reach over and went to grab it, and the top comes off of it. And guess what's inside?
Eh,
It's like, "Oh, lube. Oh my god. You don't wanna stay green. Gotcha." No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I don't worry about this. I mean, this is a morning show. If YouTube is up and watching while they're in India and, they might do the same
mm.
thing. Uh, did the video for the title, I know you watched them. No, I did take a picture of them, and of course, Nick was like, "You should have auctioned them off." Like, "Yeah, my
There
wife
might be
does things."
collectibles in there, and, then no, I don't think there are any collectibles among those.
Well, he my father-in-law was a hunter, and the oldest son had killed a squirrel. He's long since passed. The oldest son, he passed from ODing on drugs. But
Mm.
there was a picture, a stuffed squirrel hanging on the wall, and that was something that oldest son had shot, his first one, and so it was hanging on the wall, and it used to scare the kid. Did not like it. He was, because this is a big squirrel. I mean, like, overall, like, from tail to stern, and its body was massive. I mean, it was biggest squirrel I ever saw. But it was stuffed and hung on the wall, and that kid, it was freaked him out so much that he, like, put it in the closet, because it just, he's like, the thing is staring at me. It wants to take my soul. So he didn't like it, but the father-in-law kept it, and he also had a deer head. And my my brother-in-law, being the smartass that he is, stands with does FaceTime with his wife with the deer head behind him, and the kids are watching, and they're just like, and now the oldest is which is what, 6 years old now, is talking about wanting to go hunting with grandpa, and he's not going to be able to, but he wants to take up the mantle, and he wants to go, like, stab things and kill them and shoot them. And of course, she's freaking out now. It's like, great, with all these school shootings, that's all I need, is a 6-year-old going to school and saying he wants to stab and kill things, you know. So she's freaking out, and he's like, "Oh, great," and then started teasing that he was going to bring him back, especially the stuffed squirrel. He was like, he can practice on this, and she's like, "No." But we took the bus, the head, and the squirrel. We put it in the dump, and it's one of those compactors, and crushed it down. And brother-in-law had noticed that he was going to try to grab it and twist it up so it looked like there was, like, this head sticking up out of the trash. And of course, they wire those jaws shut whenever they're taxidermied, and there's a little wire sticking out, and poked his thumb, and he jerks his hand back. I was like, "What do you?" I thought he was messing around. He goes, "No, the damn thing bit me." I go, "The deer gets his final revenge."
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So
Going
all
in
in all,
and get a tetanus shot. I asked, "Okay, what happened?"
oh,
A deer that was killed 20 years ago bit me.
oh, it'd be even longer than that. It would be probably 40 years ago bit him. Oh,
Oh.
but I mean, it was very lighthearted.
Mm.
It was not as bad as we thought it was going to be. They had Biohazard come in and, like, clean everything up ahead of time, and sort of moved all the
Because of
furniture out.
the porn collection?
No, I'm sure they got a kick out of that one. Remember, we're talking about a guy that used to show up to the door
Don't
not
spray
wearing
with
any.
luminol in here.
Oh God, no! That room would have looked like a FBI agent. It would have been glowing so bright.
Yeah, it looks like a cheap
Oh,
motel room.
Well, and this is a guy that would show up to the front door whenever home health care would come by to like check up on him and make sure that he was taking his meds and take his blood pressure and stuff like that. And yeah, he would answer the door with no pants on. just open up the door, like, come on in. They're just like, put some pants on. You got to stop doing
That's a
this.
prison.
Yeah, pants are prison. Oh, so crazy. But it's so good seeing you. Good seeing you, Eris. Shizzy's gonna need this help today. I appreciate you guys. I really do. No, it's it. I saw that MG he did his anniversary stream,
Yeah.
and I know that he's got a birthday coming up in March, which is really
Oh.
cool.
Mm.
But yeah, so birthday stream for his channel, and that's just awesome.
Mm.
I did get to stop by for a little bit and
Mm.
shout at him and give him a good hello. Of course, I was out of town, so I'm on earbuds, and I'm sure it sounded like crap. But it wasn't about me. It was about that man.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know.
it was good, but I just had to go to bed because he started, I mean, 4 a.m. my time.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and yeah, I kind of forgot to sleep. So 6 a.m. I went to bed and then up at around 8:30 on Sunday morning. That was fun. Um,
Oof. Well, Eris, here's the thing. I would love to say that we are going to be doing AI story time next week, but Diva has some things that she's got to take care of, like 3D World, and it's taking a lot of her attention. So I'll be figuring out something for Sunday. It might still be doing some of the AI story time. I'll have to.
or everybody can join, including you, on Saturday for the Yodi Aries stream, where we are going to do a dramatic reading of the Yodi Aries manifesto in case I get famous.
Oh,
She actually has a manifesto in case she became famous.
oh, nice. Well,
Yeah.
I'm happy to read for you.
Yeah.
You know me.
I
Saturday.
mean, and I skimmed through a bit. I mean, it's 36 pages.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah.
Nice. I managed to do that in a weekend. Yeah. Hey, cool gamer. Good to see you.
Mm.
What? Oh, Nick, what's with the Fanny news? Oh, Fanny.
Oh, Fanny Willis I mean, there has been a good bunch of updates. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today is the in-camera interview with Mr. Wade's former divorce attorney, where the judge determines if that information he sits on is attorney-client privilege or not, because both Wade and Willis has been on the stand. So how much attorney-client privilege is waived? Because Wade could have gone up there and said attorney-client privilege, I don't waive it, and then pled the fifth. He could have done a lot of things, and he chose not to. So it's a cluster F.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's gonna get much worse. No,
Oh,
I
they
like mine.
aren't even close to done.
Mine says, let's
And
keep the dumb fuckery to a minimum today.
yeah.
No, it's going to get much worse for her because of the campaign finance. I mean,
Yeah, the
that's
campaign finance, and they also discovered when Nathan Wade said yes to the appointment, being the special prosecutor, he had less than $2,000 in the bank.
yes.
So yeah, and then also he. It was in the hearing a bit about him being there for new hires, but everybody in the district attorney's office was fired when Fanny Willis got appointed, and
Well,
then
that's
they
not
had to
uncommon.
reapply for their work, and the
Yes.
person who decided that was Nathan Wade.
Hmm. But see, that's
And
also
he
not
hired
uncommon.
some friends of his,
Oh
and
yeah.
Willis hired a lot of friends of hers. I mean, the
Hmm.
entire district attorney's office seems to be nepotism.
Oh yeah, no, that's not uncommon,
Yeah.
and I don't know about other states, but I know here in Georgia, that's
Mm,
not uncommon for
mm,
someone to come in and just fire pretty much everybody
mm.
and then make them reapply.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's not uncommon, but so blatantly.
yes. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's like because we do a lot of work, because of the kind of work we do a lot of work with like
Mm,
tax commissioners, and whenever a tax commissioner,
mm,
if what the a lot of times what they'll do is they'll have like a deputy tax commissioner
mm,
that they'll be moving into that position or
mm,
promoting,
mm,
and if you do it right, you can basically get them in before
mm,
your term is up, and basically so they understand
mm,
everything that's going on. They know how the show is
mm,
run. And sometimes those deputy tax commissioners will come in, they'll say, hey, not because I don't like this person, but I've got someone that I want to put in this position because I think they could do a better job.
mm,
And they'll sometimes rotate
mm,
people out, and just, and if someone new comes in altogether, they will come in and they will clear house. They'll just say every single person in this particular, area, because the way they were running things, or maybe because one's Democrat, the other's Republican, they'll basically fire the whole group,
mm,
because the last thing they want to have is somebody undermining their authority and causing problems. So
mm,
I understand her doing that. It's like the last thing you want to do is walk into an office and you're
mm,
trying to get some work done and people are going no. And it's
mm.
like, well,
Yeah,
don't argue
yeah,
with me.
that I understand, but that's the rehiring process is for, just to assert dominance. But every person in that office is either her friend,
Yep.
relative, or lover.
Yep. Yep. And
Yeah.
it's well, and she's going to have a rougher time with the campaign
Mm.
finance, because that right there is
Yeah,
federal.
and it was said in the hearing under oath that she took out money from her campaign. You're not
Yep.
allowed to do that.
No. No.
And all that cash in her home, because, oh, I saved up from here to there. Okay. Did you mention that to the IRS?
Hmm.
Probably not.
Yep.
Hmm.
Probably
Same with
not.
Nathan Wade, who claims, oh, he had lots of private clients and everything. Yeah, but he still had only 2 grand in his bank account when he was appointed special prosecutor.
Right.
Where's the rest of the money? And I mean,
That the
yeah,
rest of
there
the money
are.
is usually in trust. So he doesn't have it personally, but he'll have it in his
Mm,
trust account.
yeah.
And this is not uncommon, because my wife does the same thing, where
Mm,
she has her business expense, and whenever she
mm,
needs to, she'll just rotate money out of her business expense
mm,
for whatever needs to be done at home. For
mm,
example, mortgage or
mm.
bills, that need to be paid. She just has it auto, transfer that money out of
Yeah, I
that
mean,
trust account.
when you run a business, yeah, I tend to have as little as possible in my personal
Hmm.
bank account, and then I pay myself from the business account
Right.
for services and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this is, I mean, this is his. That was his grand total,
Yeah. That's
including. I mean,
that's weird.
that's really weird, because his claim is, oh, I 50% pay for 1% of the work from his private clients. Okay, where's that money? Because every case you have handled the past 10 years are in the docket.
Yeah.
We
Oh yeah.
know roughly what you're making.
Oh yeah.
We
I
we
mean,
can, we can do. I mean, not a lawyer maybe, but lawyers can hire an accountant, and the IRS has a lot of accountants who can go in and say, "Let's check things out. Oh, you worked so many hours, but we don't see anything in your bank account. Isn't that weird, Mr. Wade?"
oh yeah. They
Yeah.
Like I said, they were playing with fire, and
Mm.
you know,
Yeah, they bit off a bit more, but the funny thing here is it wasn't actually Trump who did this. It was Mr. Roman who decided to hire the bulldog or pit bull attorney.
Right.
Yeah. Who for some odd reason knows Mr. Wade's former divorce attorney, and the former divorce attorney was let go because of alleged misconduct from the Wade blah 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 law firm that isn't a Wade blah 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 law firm. So we decided, I'm gonna squeal to Miss Merchant, and then a few months later, oh crap, I have attorney-client privilege. Whoopsie.
Yeah,
So
I mean, Brandon
he's going.
Brandon made a fine point that is this business partner that every single conversation, all but one, was under attorney-client privilege. It's
Mm,
just like, oh, come on now. I
yeah.
mean,
Mm,
that's not possible, and everyone knows that that these are crooked in Fulton County. I mean, it's not like you're sitting
yeah.
going, oh, I'm shocked or anything. It's
Mm.
you know how crappy
Oh,
that
yeah.
government
I
workers
mean,
can be.
we might know it, but the general population, they voted her in. Well, at least a small portion of it, because nobody votes in the DA election, but she got elected, and
She got elected because of the letter in front of her name. It's as simple as that. I
mm,
mean, truth be told, that is usually why somebody gets elected in any position
yeah.
in Atlanta, or and that's basically what it is.
Oh
Fulton
yeah,
County is,
she's a Democrat. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's she's got that big D in front of her name, and that's all that matters. I
yeah, and
mean,
in the back end, she has Nathan Wade, and he's a D,
yeah,
and
little D.
mm. Oh, and this Fanny Willis, I will not emasculate my man by telling you what kind of cancer he had. Okay, now we know what kind of cancer he had.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
she's not a clever woman.
No, 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 no. I mean, she was chomping at the bit, wanting to get in there, which I have a feeling that she already knew what was being testified and witnessed, and
Yeah.
everything that was being
Oh yeah.
said in that
Oh yeah.
courtroom.
And yeah. And I mean, we do have to. I mean, as everybody, I do labor law. You have a certain conduct. I, the way she handled herself, and I know there's a lot of people on Twitter and stuff who said, "Oh, she really nailed them there." She's not supposed to. She's an
No,
officer of the court.
right. And it's all this stuff is gonna come back and bite them. Um,
Yeah, and I mean,
there's
you
the,
have
the harder that you notice, though, the harder that they go at Trump, the more that his support grows.
yeah, and people will find out. I mean, Georgia, if I remember correctly, was somewhat of a swing state last election.
Well, until you put Fulton, Clayton, DeKalb
Mm,
County, Augusta, or the whatever cut Augusta County is in Savannah. I mean, once you put the major cities in there, you pretty much wipe
mm,
out anything that the rest of the state
mm,
wants. And there's as low as Biden's popularity was,
mm,
it's going to be even lower this next go around. There's a lot of people
yeah,
that are just like, listen, well, we before we even think about
yeah. I
putting
mean,
them in there.
2020, Biden, Trump, 49.4% against 49.3%,
Yeah.
and this isn't going to help because now, I mean, even the normal left-wing journalists are smelling blood, and
Oh
they
yeah.
can't. This is a story. It's going to sell newspapers and clicks. Them
Yes.
and the election is not that far off.
No, it's going to come up really fast because you're going to see Super Tuesday, which is
Yeah.
not next week, but the following, something
Mm,
like that. I know it's coming up soon.
mm,
I think my wife's birthday is next weekend. I think,
mm,
Jesus, this year is like a mess.
mm,
Like I said,
mm,
it's literally been death and destruction. We haven't even hit March yet.
mm.
Biden can't walk. I mean, and here's the thing: every time someone goes off about this, and I
Mm,
agree, I'm in agreement with you on this. Every time that someone talks about this, everyone comes back and says that Trump has dementia, and he's losing his mind, losing his marbles, and it's just like I just. I don't go after that stuff. It's just like, you know what, the policies suck. I don't care if the guy can't walk or is just a brain dead zombie. Doesn't matter. Their policies suck. They're doing shitty
mm,
work. That's just because the those to me it's just like little nitpick bullshit that everybody goes
mm.
after,
I
and
mean,
it doesn't.
it's a 0.5% of taxes there or a 0.5% up over there.
Right,
That's about it.
right,
That's a real difference.
yes, and
The re-
I really want to see that, if and when Trump gets in there, just to go in and just start firing everyone that he possibly can, like
mm,
which he should have done the first time.
yeah,
It would be nice to see. And another thing I've been noticing, and I told everybody, don't be surprised if Tulsi Gabbard isn't his VP pick. Everyone keeps,
I don't
oh no,
know.
it'd be Vivek Ramaswamy. I was like, man, I'm telling you, I keep saying this to people. Do not be surprised if you see Tulsi be his VP pick. I
I
think
have
it would
no
be
idea who that is.
a Tulsi
That's the
Gabbard.
good thing of being on this side of the
Oh
pond.
yeah,
I know about two people in this election. And for me, you're choosing
that's
between
nice.
those two? Okay,
Yep.
let's have fun.
Yeah, even atheist is just like, I agree. No, Tulsi Gabbard, she was on the presidential. She was going for her to be a Democrat uh, nominee. Whenever they had Biden, Kamala Harris, Camel Toe, whatever her name is, and then they had a few other people, but Tulsi Gabbard like destroyed Camel Toe in one of their debates. I think it was like their second or third debate, like just completely destroyed her. And what was it? It was Twitter shut down her account, YouTube shut down her account, so she couldn't even be shown. um, and I just was like completely blown away that she got shut down so quick, and then next thing you know, she was just like they yeah, she destroyed Kamala. Yeah, Tulsi would be a home run pick in some aspects, but you have a problem with her second. And
I mean,
see, I think she's also coming around quite a bit as a
she,
gun grabbing socialist. No, I'm I'm not saying every. Here's my problem. There is, if you do the purity test on any one of these fuckers, you're going to find something that you don't like about what they stand for,
mm,
and people's minds can change. Um, so, like I said, if you're going for purity test, then you've already lost. You've lost the fight. I mean, look for the best candidate. I mean, look at some of these other people. They'll sit there and they'll say, "Oh yeah, Second Amendment, Second Amendment." And then whenever they get up there, they're just like, "Yeah, fuck you and your Second Amendment. We don't give two shits about it." So yeah, I mean, is she the best? She's better than a lot of the others that you see out there.
I
And I think
see
she's,
she's from Hawaii.
yeah, yeah, she's,
Yeah, they have Hawaii made an interesting ruling on the Second Amendment that it
mhm,
doesn't count
yeah. Hey,
because of the spirit of the or something like that. I don't know.
she just learned how to fucking lie better. Exactly. But I'm still telling you, yeah, even Trump
I
can't
mean,
pass that purity test. No, and that's what I'm saying is, stay away from the purity
yeah.
test. And I the only reason I say that I would like to see her in there is because I think, one, she is quite damned attractive, and it would be a pleasure to watch her speak. But she also does speak very well, and she's very thoughtful on what she says. Even if you disagree with her,
Mm,
she's very thoughtful on what she says. She's definitely not like Nikki Haley, which she'll just go whichever way the sun isn't shining and stick her head up there. As far as I'm concerned, I don't like Nikki at all. I have no love for a rhino. Just that's just me.
mm. But she is a Democrat, isn't she?
She was Democrat, but I think she's more independent now, and her her stance on Second Amendment has changed.
Release of Julian Assange.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
Depending on where you stand on that.
I love this.
Okay.
Yeah, there is.
I'm just skimming through her wiki page here.
Oh yeah. Present, share screen.
Rough. I mean, it would be an interesting pick because of that. Because if Trump wins, it will be an interesting F-off to both camps. We're running a country here. I don't know. I mean, I don't vote in the United States. I can't vote in the United States. I'm not American. I'm just here on the other side of the pond, looking over, having a brew of choice, and well, that was interesting.
Oh, it'll come in clear.
They come. What's that? Oh. Oh, those. I've seen a lot of those moon-eating thingies. Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I got it.
Yeah, there's a lot of those out there. I mean, from nuking it to aliens to big spacecrafts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh.
The only person I actually follow somewhat is what's his face? I follow him. I do think I have him on his newsletter. West Virginia. What's his name?
I'll
Senator Manchin. I mean, don't know much about him, but he says interesting things in his newsletters. So
here, I'll show you. I'll show you right here.
But we've got a lot of work to do ahead of us. Now is the time for us to act motivated by our love of country. We've got to take all the outrage and sadness and fear that we may feel, caused by those in power who have no care or respect for the will of the people. Take all of those feelings and let that motivate us to take action, to find strength in knowing that they are doing what they're doing because they're afraid of us. That just like we see foreign dictators are afraid of democracy, the Democratic leaders so afraid of a free people and a free society, and the possibility that we, the American people, might make the wrong choice in this election by choosing someone other than them, they are doing all they can through the power of law enforcement, the criminal justice system, national security state, doing all that they can to stop us from exercising our freedom. They forget that we, the people, are the ones with the power. But we have to use that power. We cannot allow them to get away with this. Our democracy is under attack, and it's up to us to save it. We have to.
And I hate whenever people say our democracy. We are not a democracy.
Constitutional republic.
Yeah, exactly.
To hold those responsible accountable at the ballot box. We have to send this strong message to leaders in both parties that those who abuse their power and undermine our democracy and our freedom will not be tolerated.
Exactly.
But
I agree with
under
you.
the democracy
if
umbrella.
We turn a blind eye to those.
But you don't have a majority vote, but you still have a somewhat free vote. Yep. You can even vote without an ID. We can't over here, and we are in a democracy.
Mm-hmm. Who is the Bride of Frankenstein? I think that's hilarious. Frankenstein.
No, it's Rogue from X-Men with that silver.
Yep.
Who are weaponizing our criminal justice system against their political opponents and telling us who we are and aren't allowed to vote for, telling us what we are and aren't allowed to say or see or hear. It will set a dangerous precedent for every election and presidency in the future. And that democracy as we know it will be finished.
and that's that's her.
Okay.
Do you have to agree
I
with it? No,
uh,
but and like Sean said, it's like he loses my vote, so does Wallstrom lose my vote if he chooses her. It's just like, okay. I mean, that is the
mm,
beauty of choice,
mm.
is you can choose whatever you want. Just don't choose to do this. Just saying,
Oh,
don't do
that
this.
I mean,
Yeah. So that right there was
mm,
this goofball that decided to light themselves on fire in protest of Palestine. Said they don't want to serve anymore. And I think Chinky Eye Joe said it the best. And if you don't know who Chinky Eye Joe is, that's Max Murrah. He said, well, I guess they got their wish.
mm.
They won't be serving.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have no problem not voting at all. Absolutely.
yeah, that's a choice too.
She's still anti Second Amendment, though. No, I've seen quite a bit of stuff that she's been posting lately. That's
Y- y-
looks like she's changing her stance on it quite a bit.
mm. The closer a person comes to real power, the more they change, because there is information none of us have at that level,
Right.
and the more information they have that we will never see, then we see how they start to change their mind. And that is why at the very top, they are more or less the same. They are probably puppets for something else.
Usually, yeah.
Mm.
Usually,
Well,
that is the case.
I have a hard time seeing Mr. Trump as a puppet, but I mean, I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I saw his TV show and was, and as you might know, I do labor law. I'm a union rep, and
Hmm.
yeah, the way he allegedly treats a bunch of the people who work for him, I'm not a fan.
No.
But that's besides the point. It's how does he run the country, and I don't care.
Yeah, it does. It's
Mm,
not going to affect you one way or the other.
no.
Let's see.
Which makes
Uh,
me probably the best person to comment on it, but I can't be bothered. The only reason I'm interested in Trump at all is because of what's happening in Georgia.
hmm
That's the only reason, because I follow the Young Thug trial and Fannie Willis, and somehow Mr. Trump was involved in that in some, and him bringing her down, I don't mind because she's a 2-hour word.
Oh my gosh, boy! I know how to light up my chat this morning, don't I? I love it. Like Brian Donald's his
I mean,
favorite pick as well.
m-
He's a good debater.
most
Hmm.
politicians are assholes.
Oh yeah, and I mean,
They will say once
there's
because
a lot of
once
people that are saying they want to have like Vivek Ramaswamy because they like what he's saying, but the way the way that I view Vivek is he is found all of the catchwords, all of the buzzwords, and that's all he talks about because he has no show of any work that he's
mm,
done that really makes him like to be able to even go into this realm. If you look at the amount of people that were even looking at him to vote for him, it was so minimal. It was like, you do better going for somebody that has a little more experience in this head game called politics. I don't like any of them. I think after they've served their term, you should just launch them to the moon on a rocket and be done with them. Yeah, Vivek is basically a TikTok candidate. That is really about it. Says
mm,
all of the little things that everyone wants to hear.
yeah. Yeah, I saw on Twitter yesterday they found a frog that has evolved something that that frog can breathe through his butthole for up to 72 hours. And that's about what I think of politicians, because they blow hot air through their ass most of the time.
Well, it's like I know how to I know how to get Eris's mouth twitching. It might have been that she saw me on that Friday Night Live with FNL with expert. That might have got her mouth twitch. Wants to bite me. Not hating Vivek. I'm just not like totally like at this time. Yeah, I mean, Alex Jones. Alex Jones, right? That's right.
Mm. Well,
Vivek is Charlie Brown, Charlie Kirk. Is a Brown Charlie Kirk. Oh, got it. I thought you said a Brown Charlie Brown. I was like, oh no, Charlie.
oh, it's a Kirk, Charlie Brown,
Yeah.
Captain Kirk. I don't know.
What did I find it? I found what happens with Eris right here. This is what Eris does whenever she gives me coffee. That's Eris in the morning.
Yep, I was distracted.
Charlie Kirk is a clown. Yes. No, you push all the wrong buttons early in the morning. Everyone after you suffers till lunchtime. I bet you do. I bet you do look way hotter than doing it. That's Eris whenever Brandon shows up. I love it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with the Fondian over there. All politicians should be. I mean, politicians are like diapers, full of crap, and you need to change them regularly. I mean, yeah. Oh, I've been in the Senate for 30 years. Okay, good. You should have left 20 years ago. Go get a job.
Mm-hmm.
My old boss, when I was in my 20s, he had his position for 5 years, and then he left in his resignation like a few months ahead, saying, I've done what I can here, because now I'm stagnating. I need to do something else, either within the company or in another company. And I agree. I mean, yes, I've been doing labor law for the past 30 years, but I've always been in different positions. I've been head of a local union. I've been more or less every position known to man within the union. And yeah, because I don't want to stagnate. And if I'm not careful, I might be head of a local union in a couple of years. So subscribe to my channel, please.
Yes, do it now.
Don't make
that
me
way
do
he
it.
Doesn't make him How many subs are you pushing now, Nick?
I'm just over 4,100.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, I hope to reach 5 before my birthday in the beginning of May, so I can make a big celebration.
Absolutely.
Celebration. Yeah,
I love it when everybody succeeds in this platform. I mean, I could care less if you do the same stuff that I do or don't do. I think that everybody should succeed.
Yeah.
What do puppies and blind?
I follow Jeff's advice because it's not a competition, except between me and Dave, but he quit. So now it's definitely not a competition.
Look at this competition. So what do puppies and blind gynos have in common? Wet noses. Yes, getting Feral to 500 would be awesome. Yep. Getting her monetized, and I was talking with Gutter Girl the other day, just in like Discord, and she was just like, "Oh my God, the stuff that I had no idea. Whenever you get monetized, all the stuff that comes along with that, like it's like you have to yeah, you've got membership stuff that you can do and all this other, and like I haven't even begun to touch the tip of it. And like Eris set me up a Discord, and I just need to sit down with her and go, okay, how do I get this to work? Do stuff
I
with
mean,
it.
I have people running my Discord for me. I log in there 2 or 3 times a week because I have a day job, and then I do the streams. I really can't. I mean, I don't have the time. So please
Yeah.
run it for me if you can. I'm perfectly happy with that. Yes, touch the
Tip of the iceberg. Sorry, I should have finished that word. What is it? Eris will stop harassing me. Well, Eris has all that information. I don't know how this stuff works. Been touching the tip. I always touch the tip, at least. Well, here I'll show you something. I want to get one of these because it is so damn awesome. I was one of these right here. Can't have the music.
I want one of those.
This is cool, or what? Look at it go.
I want to make that into a chainsaw. Is
that is a chainsaw?
It is a chainsaw.
Yeah.
No, but it has tracks. So, but it's a chainsaw motor. Okay, I can make that in a chainsaw.
Here it goes. Could you imagine seeing this come down the road at you?
Oh, I need one of those full size.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Just the little hand is twisted. I love it. Oh, so can't wait until it's taken subversion. Oh, without nipples, titties would be pointless. Yes, they would. Just get in and Hab says, ooh,
okay.
I hate that. Good, feeling better. You watched iRobot yesterday, got a glimpse of the future.
Oh, you only need to read 1984 and you have present day, more or less.
Well, and I did, what was it, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday morning I did a reading of What If I Was the Devil. It was something that Paul Harvey read back in 1964. Go back and just watch the very end of my stream on Thursday and listen to that. That was in 1964, talking about all of the things that we're seeing come to fruition now. And it hasn't changed. It just gets completely worse. Fahrenheit 451. I mean, hell, just read Babylon Bee from like 4 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, democracy or representative republic or whatever can survive any terrorist attack, any crime wave, anything, but it can't survive incompetent politicians or corrupt politicians or even well-meaning politicians. We have to do that because think of the children. We have to do this because terrorism. No, we don't.
Nope.
No. You need it to get votes. The country doesn't need it. Neither the US nor Sweden needs all of these. We need to check all of you because you're potentially criminal. But no, because that is them projecting their moral on us. They are corrupt, criminal asses, so they believe then these people who are lower than us must be even more corrupt, even more criminal. We have to check them because I'm doing it for good. No, you're not. You're a politician. You are by definition unneeded. You're unnecessary, temporary evil.
Well, if you want a really good watch, just pull up Winning Reality's stream from last night.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going through talking about whatever thing he was watching. I just had it going on in the background and was listening to it. But he was, it's the think about how they've turned from Russia being this bad evil thing, and they saw that it worked, and turning it into the same thing that they did with Afghanistan. Now they had a new boogie monster, the Taliban, Al Qaeda, whatever it might be. They just constantly, yeah. Winning has very great political streams on Sunday nights, absolutely. Um, and it's just to make sure that we stay subservient, make up a big story that sounds really bad and horrible. And it happens on both sides. It's like everyone right now is talking about how they're going after your kids in schools and blah 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 blah. And at some point it becomes okay. How about people are shitty and we stop shitty people? Just because some teacher happens to be teaching a class and happens to be gay doesn't mean that they're a crappy teacher. Now, if they're pushing a political agenda, then absolutely get them out of there, because
Mm.
you shouldn't have that kind of stuff going on in schools. Or if they're wanting to push this church of chopping little kids, into pieces, and
Oh, IKEA has a sale on office chairs.
no, don't do it. There's only one chair that you need.
Okay, which one?
It's the Miller. Look up name. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it's a Norwegian company or Swedish company.
I
Um,
have Herman
uh,
Miller.
yeah, Herman Miller.
Oh,
That's going to be one
oh,
of
for
the
fuck's
most.
sake! Sorry.
No, no. I am telling you right now. That's what I've got. I got a used one, and it is probably the most comfortable chair and the quietest chair that you'll ever sit in. It
The
is. It
least
is.
expensive I can get in Sweden costs eight, almost $900. I'm
Oh,
not
that's
spending
that's
that.
good. That's good because you buy them here, you're looking at about 9 grand or 2 grand for one. A Herman Miller.
Yeah, I'm not spending that.
I am telling you, you will never buy another chair again. You buy one, you will never buy another chair again.
Okay, I will get one that gets me to when because I have Rolling Studio,
Hmm.
Matsuri. That are my two big expenses this year, unless my webcam forks off. Because I've had the same little webcam since I started doing this. I mean, I have a good microphone. I
Hmm.
got a new computer. I still have bad lighting and stuff like that. But yeah,
Just get
no,
some WD-40. It's not WD-40. There, you
no.
can't. It's not
The,
that.
the problem with this chair, it's metal against wood.
Yeah,
The bolts are screwed directly into a wooden frame, so it doesn't help
yeah.
with
This
greasing it up.
well, and
It's the
also
wood
it'll
creaking.
it'll
What?
also wear your ass out. Because you're basically sitting on a wooden board with some padding. The
Yeah.
Herman Millers are all mesh, and whenever you sit in it, it becomes comfortable. You can adjust it to the height that you want to. You get the adjustable arms. Spend the money on getting the little things that you don't think about, and you can get them different sizes. They make them like small, medium, large, extra large. So it goes by how much weight that you have, how large your ass is, that kind of thing. You will be so comfortable. Like if nothing else, go to one of their stores and sit in one of those chairs and tell me that is not the most comfortable chair. And I've had mine for what, 8 years now, and just every so often I get out there, like what, maybe once a month, and sweep all the dust and debris off of it. Because as you move around in it, like you get the lint from your shirt and pants that rub off on it. I mean, I can sit in this chair for shit 8 hours and be completely comfortable. Like, I mean, I do it on a regular basis. They are so comfortable. like find an outlet store, go check one out, and tell me that it is not like the best.
I,
You will
I
not find anything better.
I don't want to, because if I do, I can't be satisfied with lesser. That's the thing. And I want
There's
don't. It's like, I mean, it's like with me and cigars. I mean, once I get the really good stuff, I'm having such a hard time getting back to the day-to-day cigars. I mean, I just can't.
yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It is worth it. It was worth the money, and it is worth your back and your legs and your and everything. I just I've been completely impressed with mine. I would, I looked at getting like gamer chairs and all this kind of stuff. Most of them are just a wooden board, and you're sitting on a wooden board with padding, and then it's got some sort of pleather on there that's like this vinyl leather stuff that peels off after a couple of years. It's like
I've
it's
had
crazy.
this chair for 6 months, and it started
Yeah,
creaking after two.
exactly. Drunk Nick should buy sober Nick a chair.
Yeah. Oh, I got an interesting thing from Drunk Me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got a tie clip in the form
Oh, I
of a
like
battle
that.
axe.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's a tie clip. Yeah,
Nice. That is a beautiful tie clip.
yeah.
Atheist Ant says, I heard Bill Clinton has good cigars, Nick.
There is a cigar out there that is called the Clinton, and it looks exactly. It's a novelty cigar, and it looks exactly what you think it looks like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like a good cigar, just to kick back by the fire pit, have a cigar, and drink a bottle of, well, not a bottle, but a couple of shots of bourbon, and just kick back, relax. My wife hates the smell of cigars, so I usually do it either before she comes down to the fire pit, or I'll wait until after she's gone to bed, and just sit out by the fire pit and have a cigar.
Yeah, I've had this for 6 years now.
Oh,
It's a
nice.
Trinidad Fundadores,
Okay.
real Cuban,
Yep.
and oh,
Yeah, a buddy of mine. Oh, that's nice.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
and this is my last one.
A buddy of mine went to Greece, and on his way back, he realized that Greece does not have a
Embargo.
against Cuba, so he
Yeah.
got a bunch of cigars,
Mm.
and brought him back with him, and was handing them out. I think it was on his honeymoon that he went. Yeah, it was his
Yeah.
honeymoon. He went to Greece,
Mm.
and probably bought like
Yeah.
$300 or $400 worth of cigars, and was
Yeah.
just handing them out. It's like, here, he goes, I'll never smoke all these.
Yeah. The thing with if you accidentally buy Cuban cigars, say you visit Europe, you can get decent Cuban cigars. You can email the bands back to you, and then unbanded cigars with you. Oh
Mhm.
no, these are from Nicaragua.
Yep.
You can even ask the store, I'm an American. Okay, let's find you a box that fits them that's not from Cuba.
Yep.
Not legal advice.
Nope, not legal advice at all. Baker dives into the Karen Reed stuff today at 1:45. Ooh, wow. Yeah, yeah. There was so I finished getting all of the stuff for Brian Smith uploaded for MG, so he could complete that one out. That was they came back really quick with a verdict. I mean, it was like just a short period of time. They're like, oh, we're back here already. And they just like 14 counts done. Like, yeah. He was that dude was bad news. I'm just my thing is I think because the type of person he is and the much traveling he was doing, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more that we just don't know about. I mean, if he did a couple in Alaska, a couple in DC, a couple in Washington, he had a type, you know, that he was going for. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll be. Let's see, Mo will be coming up a little bit later today. She sent me one that she's going to be talking about today. It's pretty good. Or she talked about it yesterday, maybe the day before yesterday. Yeah, it was good. But you saw the latest with Taylor Lorenz.
Oh,
That is so hilarious.
yeah. I mean, and
So
people, yeah.
Libs a TikTok interviewed her, and everyone was saying, you know how they look pretty similar, except one is younger and prettier. I think what annoys me the most about Taylor Lorenz is the damn what do they call it? Fuck. There's a where they have to use that little gravelly voice. Damn it, I can't think what it's called. There's a particular name for it. Where they what was it? It was damn it, it'll come to me. See, this is what happens early in the morning. I can't remember the name of it. Vocal fry. Thank you, S. Crowder. She does that damn vocal fry, which is just annoying as
I
piss.
remember I said this. A while ago that she has a voice for silent movies.
Yeah,
and a face for radio.
Yeah,
I mean,
she would be attractive if she wasn't such a crappy human.
I mean, some people, some girls, women are attractive until they open their mouth.
Yes.
And if you don't stuff it fast enough, they become ugly.
And then they stuff it too much, and then they become fat and ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the vocal fry. It is something my wife, she'll get around some of her friends that do that, and I'll notice her start getting into it, and I'm like, stop, because I can't hear you whenever you do that. It hits a certain tone that is almost like a whisper. And so I'm like, can you repeat that? Because I honestly can't hear you whenever you do that. Something inside my ears or whatever from playing music so long, it just cuts out, and I can only catch little glimpses of what you're saying. So whenever I hear the vocal fry, it's like, I'm not sure if I heard you correctly. It's don't do that. And, because my wife has a natural, like, smooth voice, but whenever she does the vocal fry, it's like, I can't understand it. That's just me.
You had me Googling for good office chairs now.
It'll happen, because good office chairs are awesome.
And here's the thing, for my size, I just can't go out and buy any office chair, because if a maximum of 250 pounds, and I mean, what is this? A chair for ants? I mean,
look at the mesh chairs. Look at the mesh chairs. If you're looking for mesh.
Mesh. Okay.
And make sure the seat is mesh, not just the back, because the back will be mesh, but then the seat of it is what you're looking for, that is made out of mesh. Those tend to flex a little bit more and are a lot more comfortable on the S.
I'm looking at Price Runner here, and I mean,
and you can find used Herman Miller chairs that are just they're like a little bit older. They've probably been in an office. Some of them have only been in an office like for a short period of time, and then they come popping up like someone buys out an office. Say for example, it's some major office that gets shut down, and they just sell them all off.
Let's see here. Recommendation maximum weight 500 pounds. Okay.
Yep.
It is. I'll show it. No, it is in Swedish, but. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, good stuff. I've always been a good proponent to getting that kind of stuff. I think the next, because I'm gonna have to redo my office entirely. I'm probably going to get a standing desk where it'll raise and lower, and I'm debating whether just to use my old desktop that I've got. It's a Acacia desktop. It's really nice. That I refinished.
Oh, this wasn't mesh. It was flash. Why did it show me flash furniture?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you're looking for mesh.
It looks decent padding for my ass.
Nope.
Nope.
Don't do it.
Nope.
Nope. Look at this. The seat. The seat itself is just a cushion. What you're looking for is one that has a mesh on the ass part of it, because basically that's just a block of wood with foam attached to it. That's all it is. That's all that is.
Oh, let's see here. I'm seeing here Huzaro Carbon Mesh Gaming.
Yeah, that might be one there. Like I said, most of these chairs, you don't realize it just because you're looking at it. You go, oh, that looks really comfortable. That looks really nice. And then once you really look at it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's not.
Oh, not in store.
Yeah, they've got a lot of them like that.
Why do you show? Why, Bryce Runner? Why are you showing me stuff that's not?
Because that's what they do. Mesh.
I can order this one from Germany.
Let's see. There's a Uline that makes one. Like 300.
Not in store. Nope. Why are you showing me stuff that isn't in store?
Let me see if I can pull one up here. Yeah, there's Uline makes some also.
That's one. Oh, that's Force. Yeah, white mesh. But that's a weird store with a font from 1992. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's mainly the seat that you're looking for that's got the mesh.
I mean, this is $150.
Nope, that's a wooden box also. Here, I'll show you what you're looking for. This right here is what you're looking for. Something like this. Okay.
And all mesh task share. Okay.
Yeah. So if you look at this chair itself, you see how the seat is mesh like that. That right there is close to what you're looking for.
Okay.
That
okay.
Mesh
oh, that's okay. I'm seeing here. Okay. I am currently looking for Amazon.com. No, let's try Amazon.se. Well, I can still check here. Deliver to Sweden. Oh, it's more expensive to deliver to Sweden than it is than the share. Yeah, nope. I'm looking at Office Star Riley Ventilated Manager's Office Desk Chair, $135. Ships to Sweden for $145. Yeah,
Uh,
nope. Let's go
and let's see. How
Amazon.se.
says Google Lifeform Highback Ultimate Executive. This is what he just got.
Oh, let's see here. Mesh.
And then JD says that's the one that he has. Not the best back support up high, so you use a pillow and then 2 lumbar supports up above it. Yeah.
This one is for £300.
And
Yeah,
you're
I'm still
you're,
on under that.
you're what, like 6'7", 6'8", something like that.
6'4" on a good day and about 260 to 70. That's $200.
Well, that's not bad at all.
Hmm?
And that would and if you can, and if it has like an upgrade to
I need
give
to have a
arms
drink.
a swivel.
Yeah, it seems like I'm going to have a drinking stream on Friday,
Yeah.
or the Wheel of Regrets.
The Wheel of Regrets. And if you could find one that the arms actually can swivel in and out, that also is very, very nice little addition to have. I'll show you what I ended up getting here.
I mean, these looks like they can swivel, or at least up and down.
No, they just go up and down. The swiveling comes in really handy.
Let's see if we have something else down here. Not with swivel.
And it's expensive as hell.
Jesus Christ.
And I'll show you right here.
That's dun, dun, dun. That was that one.
Oh yeah.
Next page. Oh, come on.
That's really cool. Had one of those. It's really good. Yeah.
That looks like a slime smiley face. $4,200.
No.
No.
Here, I'll show you this one. Present, share screen. So this is the one that I got right here. It's a Herman Miller Arion chair, fully featured, posture fit, support.
$650.
$650. And you've got this option where you can get the leather arm pads. Don't get the leather arm pads because you can order those online as and they'll basically just be rebuilt. Casters, I just, you don't have to upgrade any of that. You can get it with a headrest, but it isn't really necessary. And then they have different sizes. Like this one is just a size B. But yeah, this is the one that I've got right here. It's the most comfortable chair I've ever owned. Except mine, the arms on mine swivel in and out on the sides. So that made it a hell of a lot more comfortable. Like this is the original lifts right here that'll slide up and down, but I also have a rotate that'll rotate the arms around, and it's damned comfortable. And I bought some refinished leather arm pads, and they're oh yeah, so much better. Yeah, we still talking about chairs? Yeah, I mean, at least we're not talking about Trump. So that'll make a lot of you people happy.
I just found a more expensive chair.
Yeah, and it sort of shows you the sizes here. Like
I
6'7",
found a chair
350 pounds would be like a
ugly
size
as
C.
fuck. That costs around $5,700, and it is ugly. Look at that.
Oh God, that is ugly.
$5,700.
And it's on a wood. It's still on a wooden plank. What in the hell?
What?
Yeah, it's got all these little features to it, but it's still on a plywood base.
Yeah, I probably. Uh, who the? Why?
It's not all about the price. The find those like the Herman Miller, it would be your C category, the size C, 6'7" and 350 pounds, and you're hitting like the most of it.
Not one of these. Let's go back to Amazon.com.
Yeah, so the one that I was talking about is the Herman Miller Arion chair.
This
That
is
is,
$130. Well, or is that?
mhm.
That's
Yeah,
roughly the same.
yeah. The
It
only thing
seems.
is like I said, the arms don't swivel in and out.
But
If
I
you can
don't need
find
to. I don't need to swivel.
you will
Oh,
find
$184 shipping to Sweden. Yeah. Fork, no. Free
so
shipping,
that
free
right there.
shipping. With
Look
free
that up right
shipping.
there.
What?
The
Where?
Herman Miller Arion chair. I put it in chat there. I'll put it in private chat. This is the Arion chair. That is super easy, super comfortable. Looks a lot like the one that's next to. It's the second one from the left. Looks a
That
lot
one.
like that. Looks a lot like that.
Yeah, those
And that
look
looks
like
that is not a
swivel
mesh.
down.
Nope. Don't get that. Don't get that. See the seat. The seat is got the it's basically hard with a cushion on it. Yeah, that thing will wear out like in a couple of months. Your ass will go right.
Aaron share. Pricing information. No.
Go to big gaming and supply store or office supplies. Yeah, find one of those that does used office chairs and find the Herman Miller. You'll definitely be surprised by them.
Why can't I find free shipping over here?
Well, share screen here. How about
Amazon
this?
Global Store? No. Huh?
Give you a little bit. Where is it? Ah, here we go. And here we go. Present. Bookmarks.
All mesh office share. Ergonomic. Oh.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, but it's like 200. I mean, look at $300 for the shipping.
Yes.
That's.
But if and I will say this, if you get a chair that is absolutely where you never have to, where you're like, okay, I only have to replace this once every like 10 years as compared to one that wears out in 6 months or a year, you're going to go, oh crap, there's a reason why I'm spending that little bit of extra. Get a purple silicone. It's best $80 you ever spent. Purple silicone seat pad. Yeah, but that doesn't stop the chair from squeaking. See? That's the trick to it. There we go. Little libs of TikTok and Lauren's.
Why you don't speak up about the sexualization of kids?
I don't think it's a problem. I don't see as much. If I saw an example of a child being sexualized, of course I have a problem with, certain things. I will actually, I will say.
So do you think we should give kids porn in school? The images of like gay stuff?
Why is she wearing a mask?
I went to public school.
Every time I see one of those, there's this picture that I get of a horse eating out of a bag, a feeder bag.
Yeah.
And
when I had my really big beard, when I went into factories and stuff, I had one of these, but net things. That was fun.
Yep. Oh God.
And in public school, at least when I was growing up, we were absolutely given literature, explaining sex.
No, she's right. In public school, they did that, but it was explaining, this is reproductive.
And
In the
this is how you
wee-wee.
protect yourself from diseases, that kind
Yeah,
of thing. Not are you in the wrong sex, gender, whatever. No, we did not. We
no,
learn how to accept that. Maybe
yes,
some people are just different. Okay,
okay.
and that was
And
it.
then that was it.
Yep.
And if you wanted to know more, then you would go and search out to find more about it. But most
Yeah.
kids didn't have it shoved in their face. That's the creepy part about it. Hey, Rosamond, good to see you this morning. Hey, T-Rex. Rexy. It's bad, Rexy. Yeah, auctions whenever an office closes or a remodel, absolutely. There's ways around it. It's just finding those good chairs.
Educating people.
It had pictures of like anal sex.
Oh, absolutely. And
I don't think so. I don't think that whenever she was going to school, I doubt that they were actually even teaching you how to start fire with matches. They were probably still using flint and steel to light fires. So
actually talked about condom use.
What grade?
God, I mean,
it's been so long she can't even remember what grade she was learning about sex ed in.
I mean, we learned that about the age of 12. I mean,
junior high.
11, 12, because people were getting into puberty.
Yeah.
Time to tell everybody, okay, this is what's going on with you. These are the risks, and don't do anything stupid. Use protection if you do anything stupid. That's about it. And accept that people are different.
Yes. It
didn't work, but because we brought up very rural, you actually had to ask, who's your grandparents? So just to make sure you
that you weren't related.
I mean, my year was about 60 people. I kid you not, 5 last names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's most it's sort of like being like in an Amish community. They tend to step outside the Amish community to find
I don't remember, but certainly probably middle school. I think that's when we had sex ed.
So you think like books like John?
So middle school, that's what I said. So middle school would have been about 8th grade, been about the 12, 13-year-old, maybe 14, something like that. If I'm not mistaken, Taylor is probably just a few years younger than I am. Like, I think she's in her 40s. I could be wrong on that. So yeah, that would have been Taylor Renz is like 40 something. Yeah, like I want to say she's 40, 45, 46, something like that.
She was born 1984, so she
wasn't.
40.
She wasn't born in 1984.
October 21st, 1984.
No, because she said
according to Wikipedia.
Well, she said that wasn't true either. She said
that
she
claims she's 43. I see here from an article that from 2020. So that would make her 46 or 47.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's she changes her. She doesn't want anybody to know her real birth date. Like I said, I think she's pushing close to 50, and
that's a lot of Botox, or she never smiles.
No, that's just a lot of. Well, she puts the mask on her face, and then of course puts on a decent amount.
I'm getting the visuals from what's that movie with Charlie Sheen?
Yes.
when the pilot with the mask takes it off and the mouth is shaped.
Exactly.
Hot shots. Hot shots.
I've got a picture I'll have to pull up here at some point in time. It's a mask with basically a dildo on the inside of it. That's what I picture is, but it's a black mask just like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so hilarious.
Your career, this book is gay. We should give that to kids in school.
I have not read those books.
Of course she hasn't read those books because she doesn't pay attention to these kind of things. If she had kids, she would be paying attention to this, but she doesn't have kids. So it doesn't matter to her. That's the problem. She doesn't have kids. You know, you have kids, your attitude towards the way children are treated changes drastically.
So I don't know. But I do think that it's important to educate kids about sexuality, if nothing else, because
sexuality is completely different. So sex ed and sexuality are two different things. It's
you know, I have spoken
so
to women that were abused sexually when they were young, very young. And one thing that they've told me is that they wish that they had the language to talk about it, and they weren't educated. They grew up in I only know two that I've spoken to about this, but they
two. I've talked to lots of women that were abused. Well, okay, I talked to two of them. Okay.
Grown up in sort of societies where they weren't very educated about sex ed. They didn't receive sex ed in class. They went to a Catholic school or other sorts of schooling. And so I do think it's really important for kids to.
So let's see, there's only two that she's talked to, and they either went to Catholic school or some other kind of schooling that they just weren't taught with this kind of stuff. Okay. But we're not talking about the outliers. We're talking about the mainstream.
I listened to for a while back one of these. They had a hearing, and then the mayor of that town went in to that and said, if you're not stepping down for distributing what I consider to be child S or child P, then because he had talked to police who agreed with him, these images and these languages can be regarded as child P.
Right.
So he told them, if you don't step down, I will walk out of here and tell these officers to come in and arrest you all.
Yeah. I mean, there was a guy that I worked with, and he tells this story of going over to, you know, a friend of his place, and, you know, they were just like pulling up something on the computer, and he goes, oh, check this out. And he pulled up some child P on there. And he was like, what the hell is that? He was like, oh, I found this. Isn't this funny? He was like, no, I don't find it funny at all. He said, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to erase that from your computer and get rid of it permanently. And if I ever see anything like that again, I will kill you. Because I've got a 1-year-old daughter, and all that's going through my mind right now is you're the guy I have to look out for constantly. And you'll never be around my family again. Just like he lost his shit. He was like, you know, he said, if you would have showed him to that like 10 years ago, you've been like, I don't care. That's gross. And then just like walked off. He wouldn't have cared. But now that he had a kid, his attitude changed drastically. Like he was ready to literally beat the hell out of the guy. And you just don't play that stuff. Let's see, open that new tab. I'm looking at what you sent. Yeah, see, he still has that cushion chair.
No, I mean, it's just a new contender for ugliest chair.
Oh, it is. That is very ugly.
I'm sure it's very comfortable, but I need to have people here sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's where they trick you is being a mesh chair. Like if you look at it, it looks like it's mesh until you look at it here and you realize that's just a cushion. That's sitting. Yeah, that does not look comfortable at all. And it is ugly. Oh, no, it says it has a mesh seat. That's what it's saying here, but it does not look like a mesh seat. Yeah, that's expensive as hell.
Yeah, £510 is like $6,500. It doesn't look like a mesh seat.
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't.
ugly as fuck.
It probably is a mesh seat. I guess if you look at mine, it wouldn't either. It must just be the angle that it's sitting at.
Mm.
I mean, it could be. Could be mesh. Might be. Yeah, it's mesh. But still looks ugly as sin. Huh.
To understand sex, because as we all know, a lot of teenagers can be sexually active, and I think sex education is important to promote.
Oh, I love that idea. Roseman thinks that you should get the yoga couch and be done with it.
Beanbag.
Oh my God, you two with the chairs. Love my mushroom chair.
Once I'm focused, I'm gone. That's it.
Have you ever seen the kneeling chair?
Yeah, that when you sit like in the Z or something with your knee,
Yeah.
with your, yeah, I've seen those, but I have bad knees, so.
Yeah, they usually catch you right on the shin is where you end up resting. But yeah, if you've got bad knees,
yeah, and then when you try to get up from it, you fall over because you can't get your legs out in time. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You know, healthy attitudes, healthy understandings of sex. I mean, these are human bodies. You can't just expect to send kids off at 18 with absolutely no sex ed and then think that they can function in the world.
So we should give kids like pictures of gay sex in middle school and actually elementary school, some of them.
I guess I'm wondering what you consider that. I think
she was pretty clear whenever she said elementary school, gay sex stuff in elementary school. And because to me, whenever you start normalizing these kinds of behaviors, that children don't know any better, and it makes it an easier prey because they saw that that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know people my age and maybe 10, 15 years younger who have done the transition and stuff like that, at least a handful of them. And they are furious because they spent their entire adult life trying to convince everybody, we're not after the kids. This is for us so we can get comfortable.
Exactly.
And now they can't speak out because they are hunted down by this new generation of, I don't want to change physical, I just want to say I am. And yeah.
And you know, I used to work with a bunch of post-op, pre-op drag queens and all of that. And I didn't really care. They didn't give two shits about me. I didn't give two shits about them. They're grown adults. They can do whatever the hell they want. I didn't care.
In Gothenburg in the 90s, I knew she was 6'10", with the largest Adam's apple you have ever seen. Proud as F with high heels, walking in a short skirt down the main. People stared, people looked. Nobody cared because that's a very confident person.
Yes.
If that person wants to go around that way, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Then, of course, that person could pick you up and turn you into a mush if he or she wanted to.
Exactly.
But I mean, it was a linebacker. But yeah.
No, you just don't. At that point, you just don't care. I mean,
yeah. Of course, we had
it's the people that it's the people that start going after the kids that really, I think, is what most people are upset about. It's just like, we don't care. Go ahead and do your drag queen things and go ahead. Keep the kids out of it.
I don't even mind.
I wouldn't send kids to go to a male strip club or a female strip club at that. I wouldn't send children to that. Why would I send them to go watch somebody that wants to sexualize what they are? It's like that's where you have to. There has to be a line drawn somewhere where you say, okay, this is stepping over the bounds. And I think that's where American people are, is just saying, hey,
Yeah.
You're crossing. You're stepping over the line. If parents want to take their kids and destroy them like that, then I'm not going to stop them. That's entirely up to them. But don't come back to me complaining whenever their kids are confused and want to start shit with me, because I'm just like, I don't care. I really don't care. I didn't care whenever you were doing it. I don't care now. I don't have to accept you. I don't have to accept you. That's on you. If you want to be accepted, then be accepted. I don't care. I got plenty of people that don't like me. Doesn't matter.
I'm a union rep. I have thousands of people who would piss on my grave. I mean,
exactly.
I don't care.
No,
I mean, I might have cared 30 years ago. Now, no. Why should I?
No. You're doing your thing, and
yeah.
And I think a lot of this is just people looking for acceptance, and because they they need to be validated in whatever their kink or whatever might be. I mean, just do like my father-in-law did, and just get a whole bunch of porn and leave it laying out for for your children to find.
I mean, we have in my county, they had one of these drags reading stories, and it was like Pippi Longstocking and stuff like that. And for kids 3 to 5 to 7, they don't care if it's Santa, a clown, the Easter Bunny, or a man in drag. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's the stories they read and how they act. That's an issue. But as long as they read Pippi Longstocking or, I don't know, some, whatevers.
Don't care.
Yeah, don't care.
It's whenever you're trying to promote, there you go. Whenever you're trying to promote an adult lifestyle, is where it becomes an issue, especially on children. It's like, there's been drag queens around forever. There's been transvestites around for quite some time. And whenever people want to put in the alphabet thing, I'm like, no, straight, gay. Like I don't give the whole LBG, X, Y, and Z, M, P, Q, R. I don't care. It's like you're straight or you're gay. You're normal or you're queer. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm accepting if you want to, whatever you want to do, it's your thing. But don't try to throw in a whole bunch of other names and nomenclature because you feel like you need to be included. If you need to be included, then go include yourself somewhere else. I don't care. It's like, I got gay friends, I got straight friends, I got black friends, white friends, Hispanic, German, Russian. I mean, I got friends.
Germans? Now you're.
No, I've got friends that
I mean, I represented a bunch of people. I mean, looking back, I mean, I've been in around 50 to 100 negotiations and mitigations per year, and I've been doing this for 30 years. That's a fuckload of people.
Yeah.
And once in a while, I represent a person who has, however you call them or call themselves, against an employer, and I will do it because that shouldn't matter on a workplace unless they start, showing their hoo-ha or their ding-dong to their co-workers. Do their job, it doesn't matter. But some bosses that are my age and older have a bit of an issue with it, and I have to rip that out of them.
Yep.
And I will, and I do. I mean, I'm representing the workers. I don't give a flaming fuck what they do in their private life.
No, it doesn't matter. It does not matter what someone does in their private life. Have at it. As long as kids are not involved or animals. That's what it is. Yeah, I had a story about that one. I was like, no, I'm not reading that. There's a couple, I want to say in Iowa or some, no, in Alaska, that they're in jail for taking advantage of their pets.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, a male and a female, and yeah,
Mm.
they're in jail
Hi,
right
Mr.
now.
Jingles.
I saw that and I was like, oh my god, that's so screwy. Where was that? Because I pulled that up and
You want to be up here instead?
it was
Yeah.
on. I will find that because it was something that was like, what in the
Mr.
hell is
Jingles
wrong with this?
cosplays as a parrot.
Cosplays as a ferret.
And by his tail, he's very happy with me right now.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I mean,
goodness.
he will kill me one of these days.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's
Do you want to see a picture?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, are you talking about the ones that you've posted on your Twitter account?
Yeah.
I guess those don't look like what I received when I did sex ed, but I think sex ed is important because it actually helps.
So you didn't have.
See, this is important. Yes, sex ed is important. Also, parents should be able to teach that to their children and give them a little bit of the birds and bees. You don't have to go whole hog and give them like physical demonstrations, but you can explain a little bit about the birds and the bees, if nothing else, to protect themselves. You know, like this is not normal touching. You know, so if someone is doing that to you, teacher, priest, whatever, that's not normal.
Have those types of things when you were in school.
Oh no, we had sex ed.
I'm saying the images I posted on my Twitter.
Did you, when you had sex ed in school, did you not get books with graphic
with
imagery?
pictures of gay sex?
I remember. I don't remember how old you are, but I grew up in the 90s when.
Got it.
HIV and AIDS was a big thing, and
yeah,
we certainly learned about gay.
No, they didn't. No, because that wasn't even talked about because in the 90s, in the 80s, they didn't consider, they said it was a blood-borne disease. And they actually had people wearing masks like what she's wearing, saying that it could be airborne.
Yeah, I mean, back then we heard stories like sitting on a toilet after some, and I mean the wildest stories, and people believed it because, of course, you got that from sitting on a toilet.
Yes, you
after
got that
somebody.
Guess who the
absolutely
doctor was?
not. Yeah,
guess who the doctor was that was in charge of all of that? Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, and that's what they didn't say. This might have gone not by sitting on the toilet, but what was through the hole in that toilet stall.
Oh yeah,
I found something I share. I think.
Let me see.
You have that seems to be full mesh of some sort.
It looks like a padded seat on it again.
Yeah, but if you go through the
pictures,
through the pictures, it has some markings on it.
I don't know. It is mesh. It's mesh all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has somewhat with the handles that you can adjust at least, because that swivel, I don't really care, and it's 180 pounds.
That's not bad.
Which is just over $200.
Well, and go and see if you can go to, try one of these out and sit in it and see how comfortable it is.
Yeah, this is a British company, but I will try to find it. It says C-Hole M57 full mesh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be a contender. There's like, wow, derailment has been happening this morning. Send my ADHD
Okay,
into
it's
files.
another $100 from Amazon.se. Do we have it anywhere?
There you go. In the 90s, we didn't get the gay sex talk. No. I mean, where did you know people that were gay in the 90s? Absolutely. It was pretty obvious. A lot of times they were like, no, I'm not gay. No. It's like, I have a girlfriend. It's just like, dude, you may not know it yet, but
Jesus
we
Christ,
all know.
Mr. Jingles.
Hey, Mr. Jingles. But you would know. You're just like, okay, that's cool. No biggie. Just,
Maximum weight 330 pounds. Yeah, that's within.
This is only a 5-minute video. Yeah, it's only a 5-minute video. God, what do you think I am?
In school.
So those pictures I posted on my Twitter, you had
this is just one
like
of them.
that?
I actually don't know. I don't remember, to be honest. But I do think that it's really important to
knowing those.
So Taylor, how many times did you have gay sex? Just asking.
Pictures. You seem to know very well what those pictures are. Do you think
that? I don't. I've seen
you kept referencing it.
Well, I've seen you post things, but I don't
pull
know.
It up.
I should pull it up. Here, look.
But I think, I guess I feel...
Because we need to put this into context.
Yeah. Well, we won't know the context, of course, because we don't know the context of how those things are being taught.
Oh, so we could give kids like pictures of gay sex as long as it's in the proper context?
Well, speaking of this right here, because I'm going to derail it again, of course, AIDS being a bloodborne disease, and it could be passed blood to blood, which became a big thing in the 90s, where they started testing for blood transfusions. There was a lot of people, not a lot, but there were some people that were getting AIDS from getting blood transfusion, not even knowing that was in the blood. And all of a sudden, a child has this, and it's just like, how would the child end up with this if it's, they've clearly never had sex before, and all of a sudden, here they've got this HIV, and it wasn't AIDS, it was HIV that they were having, and so sharing needles, that kind of stuff would happen, and bad thing about this is it was whenever they went and started looking at the demographics of the most people that were contracting HIV were Black females that were highly getting it the most. I was like, that's really weird. If it's a gay sex kind of thing, then how does it? Oh, gotcha. So Pookie was getting pookied is what was happening. And then he would bounce from bed to bed and spread it around. And there were cases of guys that were getting the disease and would intentionally go and infect a bunch of other women intentionally. It was.
We had one of these over here as well, but now they are advocating over here that it should not be treated as a lethal disease, but a normal sexually transmitted disease. And I sort of understand why, but I sort of say no, because the treatment, you have to take it rigorously.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, it will. I mean, the only other that you can't get rid of is the herpes. And it's really uncomfortable, but it's not lethal in that way.
Right.
And
not Alaska.
I don't know. I mean, it's up to the educator to determine, right? I don't know. I guess I'm kind of curious, Kaya, why you sort of focus so much about the LGBT. You keep mentioning gay sex, but you don't mention straight sex. Why is there such a focus on the LGBTQ world?
I don't.
So which one is it there, sweetheart? Is it the alphabet or is it gay sex? Because it would be different. I mean, either Oh, I guess it isn't different, is it?
Mm.
I don't want pictures of sex in school. Any pictures.
So you don't think children should receive any sort of sexual education, straight or gay?
I said I don't want pictures of sex in school.
But you think that they should receive picture-free sex education?
No, I think we discussed this earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious kind of how you're thinking, you know, when you think
Curious
about
about
the way that you put out content and the way that you think about growing your media empire.
Here, this is a blowjob.
Oh,
What, I don't know.
yeah. I don't know what I'm looking at. Well, you're looking at what happens whenever you get a prolapsed asshole. There you go.
What book this is from.
Genderqueer.
Okay.
So should this picture of a blowjob be in elementary schools?
I've never seen a book like that in elementary schools, but I have no idea.
Well, of course, because she doesn't have any kids.
It has been. I
Okay.
posted about it, yeah.
So tell me a little bit
So
about.
should it be in elementary schools?
I have no idea the context. I have no idea.
So
the
in what
context.
context is it okay if it would be?
Yeah.
What context is it
It's
in
okay
elementary
for-
school? What context do you need, Miss Taylor Lorenz? What possible context could it be for you to accept that? Please
For-
tell the world.
To show that to a 6-year-old, 7-year-old,
Yeah.
8-year-old, where do you say, okay, it's appropriate to be showing this kind of stuff to children? And some of it's not that they're showing it; it's just they have it available in the school library for kids to be able to access this. And that's where a lot of people are upset about it. It's just like, yeah, you shouldn't have this in the school library. Like, kids are going to search this kind of stuff out regardless, because they're maybe they're saying, hey, I don't like women, or I don't like men, and they want to figure out what this means. And I think that not only should parents be willing to talk to their kids about it, but that if the parents aren't, that they have good access to explain why, little Jimmy likes other little Jimmies, or why little Joni likes other little Jonies, whatever it might be. But be able to sit down and have that conversation is like, this is might be what it is. Don't know. How about not 5-year-olds going, well, my 5-year-old likes to dress up in dresses and wear mom's shoes. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe he just likes to clomp around the house in high heel shoes and thinks their mom looks funny whenever she walks in them. Who the hell knows? Kids are weird. They're not developed. They haven't developed a brain or any sort of sexual behavior. They still will strip off their clothes and run around naked because they don't care. Like, they're children. I did sex ed when I was 12 back in the 70s. It wasn't done in high schools. When you went to high school in the 80s, we also learned it was biological. There were no pictures of the act. Exactly. There were no pictures of the actual act. It was just like, this is male bits, this is female bits. There was no, women needed to know that for, other purposes, ask Flo.
I have absolutely no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I would not. I don't know, Kaya, because I haven't seen the rest of that book. I don't know what's in there. I don't know the context.
But there is a context that it would be okay to give kids pictures like that of gay sex, anal sex in elementary school.
I guess sex pictures in school. I don't know because you know who I would defer to on that. Just because neither of us are sex educators, I would defer that question to a qualified professional.
Like, really? Qualified professional? I would say maybe refer to the parents to make that decision instead of the professionals, because we've seen what professionals do in their reviews. They try to put 3 or 4 stars because they're so close to that 3. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, she asked very good questions. Like, I'm completely. Taylor just said, I'm not a biologist, of course.
Sex educator, and say, hey, you're an expert.
A sex expert. Okay. Yeah, I've seen what some of these sex experts are, and they can't even tell you what a woman is.
You've treated tons, you've educated tons of people. You're a full-time sex educator. You've really studied this. what are the appropriate boundaries? I don't think that myself as a journalist or a media personality, I don't think I'm the right one to make that decision. And I guess I'm wondering why
I have seen sex educators say that they want these books in schools. So then you're okay with it?
I think I would want to talk to the sex educator and rely on whatever the sex educators say. Okay. I'm wondering why you feel like you're qualified to be a sex educator when you have no background in that.
I don't want to be a sex educator. I just don't want to give kids porn in school.
I totally understand. Tell me a little bit more about sort of,
Oh my God, she's just so damn annoying. Annoying. Oh my God. Like, really, this is her idea.
Yeah, I mean, why does she feel the need to argue against that and ask for context? The context is that is shown for more or less toddlers.
Yeah.
Why do you need context?
You don't.
No. That should be the easiest in the world to say, oh my God.
Let me see what. And we got this one here. So this is another piece of that interview, just so you can sort of get an idea of what she thinks. Yeah, the black and the white sketches of fallopian tubes are very hard to master. They do. Exactly. And you see how she ignores the statement of not wanting to show kids porn in schools. Exactly. And that's what she'll do. She'll ignore the actual question that people are asking. And that's where it becomes really the sketchy part. But here, let's watch this one real quick. This is not a very long one. This is only 4 minutes.
How do you think about the fact that, so often your posts, things that you post about hospitals, libraries, schools, etc., after you make these posts about them, they deal with threats, sometimes bomb threats, sometimes harassment.
We don't know who's calling in the threats. And I mean, look, bomb threats are bad. I've said that 1,000 times. People calling bomb threats should be arrested and investigated. You can't call in bomb threats. But I just don't know what does it have to do with.
Well, I guess, a recent NBC investigation found at least 33 instances where you posted about a specific person or institution, and that person or institution was immediately bombarded with death threats and violent threats, including bomb threats, other violent threats. That's a pretty significant correlation. How do you, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know if you saw, but I got like tons of death threats this week after the entire media machine came after me. So are they responsible for those?
I don't think that there's the same correlation. Are you receiving bomb threats?
I'm receiving death threats, like, hi, I'm gonna come murder you.
Yeah, and I definitely sympathize with you there.
Like,
I get those
literally,
every day.
I sympathize with you. She won't condemn it, but she sympathizes. It's like, no, that should be condemned. Like, outright, don't do that. Anybody. No death threats, no bomb threats. If you don't like what someone's saying, it's a beautiful thing. You reach over there, you go, turn the channel. If you don't like what someone is saying, you just don't listen to it. Don't threaten them. Just go, yeah, this doesn't jive with my outlook on life. So, but doing threats to somebody is horrible.
The article goes live and then I get those threats.
I get the same thing when a Fox News article goes live.
So is the journalist responsible? The journalist who posts the article?
I would say, there's a different responsibility when we're talking about media. And I guess to me, a death threat is different than a violent bomb threat. A death threat.
How is it different? That makes no sense. How is a death threat or a bomb threat different?
I think we're
Hey,
kind of
Zach.
getting
Good to
normalized
see
to them,
you.
unfortunately, online. We get a lot of them. Probably you and I get constantly 24/7. I'm wondering kind of how you think about taking these obscure people, right? Because you and I are both public figures, and I imagine you and I can both, we have a high tolerance, right, for what we can handle online. Say you're taking a private citizen, you know,
I bet she doesn't handle a whole lot online. We've seen her like break down weeping because somebody talked bad about her.
a gay teacher, for instance, in a small town, and you post about that person, and then that person subsequently, who had no media presence prior, receives pretty violent threats.
That I think would be wrong. But if there's a teacher, doesn't matter whether they're gay or straight, and they start trying to subvert their children into a particular way of thinking, either politically or religiously, then they should be called out immediately. They should be brought attention to immediately. You know, if you've got a priest, you shouldn't have the Vatican covering up for them and just swapping them around. They should be called out and brought in front of a court that will actually more than likely say, yeah, you diddling little boys or girls in the bathroom is not appropriate. You know, I view it all the same way. You know, if you're trying to subvert children to follow some sort of little cult, see you bye. You're done. You're over with.
How does that make you feel?
We need to answer the question first, though. Is the journalist responsible for actions that have to happen after?
So you consider sort of
See, she's avoiding the question.
your posts about private citizens, incendiary posts, you consider that.
Oh, you're asking who's the chick that looks like Blossom? This girl right here is lives a TikTok. Right here. This is lives a TikTok. So if you're wondering, this is lives a TikTok, and she's sitting down with Taylor Lorenz and having an interview with her. So that's who it is.
That journalism.
I'm an independent journalist.
And do you think that there's a difference between doing journalism on a completely private figure that has no public presence and no institutional power versus reporting on a powerful public institution or person?
You still didn't answer the question. Is the journalist responsible for reporting for any actions that happen after the reporting?
Personally, I think that journalists should take care and should consider sort of the framing, and I think that they should do their best not to appear as if they encourage that sort of behavior.
Not answering the question. Answer the damn question. Yeah, Chaya Racek lives a TikTok. Thank you.
I've noticed that you haven't necessarily publicly condemned that behavior, publicly told your supporters, listen, guys, stop calling in these bomb threats.
Who said it's my followers? Do you have information when it's my followers?
I guess who else's followers would it be?
I don't know.
So
There's 300 million people in this country.
So you post bomb threats follow, and you're saying it might be just unrelated people?
I have no idea. We don't know who it is.
Have you taken steps to find out?
We filed some FOIAs with police departments.
Yeah. What have you found?
We haven't got to anything useful yet that we can use. But actually, one of them, we know it's like some foreign actor, not even from the country. So who knows who it is?
Yeah. It seems like Twitter is your main platform.
Still wouldn't answer the damn question. Still would not answer the damn question. That's pretty common. Journalists don't like it whenever you call them out on their bullshit. Here's the thing, Nick. If for example, you said, I don't like what Shizzy has to say, and he's a horrible person, and then you just walk off from there. If someone comes after me, is it your responsibility that somebody else comes after me because you and I just disagree on something?
Well, hypothetical. We have a discussion. We don't agree. You walk away. I walk after you. Then I'm making a me problem a you problem. And I assume you would take care of that problem.
Right.
Because I'm following you instead of, okay, we disagreed. And I mean,
Right. But
again, I'm
but the different
I'm a
different
union rep. I do labor law. Most
but
of the people I hang around with over here are mid to very right leaning, because the people over here are boring and often wrong, and I don't want to hang with them.
But on the other hand, if you
Yeah.
and I have a disagreement and then you say, you know, you guys need to go after this guy and shut him down, then it becomes a different issue, because
Then
then
it
you're
becomes
calling
a
for some sort of
real.
action to happen to me, which not saying you would, but if we had a disagreement and then you call for some sort of action, that's where it becomes a problem. But if we just walk away and we say we just disagree on this one, that and then somebody comes after me that might have been watching the show because, oh well, you know, Nick doesn't like this guy, so maybe I shouldn't like this guy either. That becomes a problem of whoever it was that was listening and thought that they needed to take some sort of action. And that's the point that she's making with her, is like, you know, there's the, you know, it is not the responsibility of a journalist that calls attention to a bad actor in the Vatican that's doing really bad stuff, and says, "Listen, this is what this person is doing, and if people go after that person, then that's those people's issues. It's not the issue of whoever called them out." And people should act, well, they don't, but they should act more adult and be able to, you know, not get into these kinds of issues. But that's not how it works all the time. Ah, such is life. But yeah, don't like the Taylor Lorenz, but you know, I guess it was a good interview. And if you wanted to watch more of it, I think Taylor Lorenz has it on her channel or whatever. So feel free to go check her stuff out. And, you know, if you agree with her or disagree with her, it'd be interesting. You know, nonetheless, it is hitting that time where here in a few minutes I'm going to be jumping off, and I actually have real work to do, because that's what I do all day long.
And in 50 minutes, I'm starting my stream about what happened from Thursday to now in the Fannie Willis disqualification.
I know. It's I was going to touch a little bit on that, but I know that you're going to be showing it. What I'll be doing is I'll be showing I'll be sending everybody over to go check out Mo in Deep End. I do that every morning because, you know, Mo's pretty damn awesome. And she does a nice about an hour stream just going over the newsy news. She's I'm hoping that tonight we can continue on with the tonight will be the Zach Anderson interview, and that we'll start in on that. I know it took us 2 weeks to actually get through through the other one with Sadie Beecham. It took us about 2 weeks to get through that one. So if you guys want to come by tonight, I'm gonna send the invite out to Mo. If she's able to make it, she will. If not, then most definitely, you know, it'll be me just going over it, which usually doesn't happen because Mo likes to come in and hang out, and we have a good time. So, oh my gosh, this weekend went by in a flash. And make sure that you know, you guys have like subbed to Nick if you haven't, because he's trying to get that breaking point, you know, get him over the 5K this next couple of days. And also get Farrell's, you know, get Farrell over the 500. Just get her over the 500. Spread the word around. And she had a really good one Sunday. I swung by there for a little bit, just listened to her in chat. I was working on editing videos, so it was that's how it goes. That's how life goes. But with that, everybody, you have a wonderful day. I will see you tonight, tomorrow, and it'll be another day in the life. And love you guys a long time. Anything you want to say, Nick?
No, still looking at shares.
All right, y'all. Peace.